Peace and love, y'all. Peace and love. It's the Queen 7 coming up in here to holler at y'all about what's real. You feel me? I'm coming through to give y'all something that's definitely much needed. I haven't been on in a while, but here I am. Here I am. The devil tried to stop me. The devil tried it. So here I am to give y'all this message. Anyway, let me go and get to it because y'all already know I ain't trying to hold y'all long. All right. I named this video Knocking Boots with the Devil. Stop knocking boots with the devil, y'all. We've been out here knocking boots with the devil. And I know the term knocking boots is used for sexual purposes, but in this term, we're going to use this just for our life in general. Many of us have been going through some stuff lately, and you probably don't know why you've been going through what you've been going through, but I was informed the other day by a beautiful queen about the new moon that just passed. Well, that's currently going on right now because the energy's still alive. Basically, this moon that we have right now is considered the morning moon. And she said not the moon like the AM morning, like the morning like you're grieving something. So when she said that, it made perfect sense. It's like us as a universal whole have been kind of going through a mourning stage. And we probably don't know why we've been going through a mourning stage, but I'm here to let you know that it was because of this moon that we just had. So basically, a lot of us have been mourning and grieving things that we probably thought we let go of that resurfaced during this time. And you probably didn't know where those emotions came from, how it even, like, what happened. Well, that's why, because of the morning moon. So I went and I did my research on it as well, and it makes perfect sense. So, like I tell people, when it comes to healing, your healing is never all the way completely done, right? So, when you think you've mourned some things and gotten over some things, you probably haven't. I found myself grieving recently over an uncle that got killed when I was 7 or 8, and he was 13 at the time. And I literally found myself recently grieving that person. And so, when you don't process or deal with, the things that hurt you, the traumas that you are faced with, it just only bears itself and it finds a way to come back out whether you want it to or not. That's why they say everything that's done in the dark always comes to the light, and that's the absolute truth. So the moon brings out these type of energies in you, whether you believe it or not. So the sun and the moon energy is very, very powerful. Anyway, that's not what I got on here to talk about. If you want to know more about the moon, go do your own research. But I just had to bring that up because many of us probably have suffered losing somebody, whether it be somebody physically passing or losing a loved one, a family member that you thought was a friend or somebody that was close to you, or a lover, relationship, or whatever. Grieving and mourning come in so many different forms. You don't have to actually grieve a person that's actually passed away. Like, you actually grieve a person that's still alive. And I learned that recently, that I was grieving, and I was like, well, how? Well, I thought I was done, but apparently not. So I literally lost a family member and gained a family member like in the same day. So I didn't know whether to cry or be happy, but at the same time, my emotions was all over the place. And that was spirit give me where they wanted me to be so that I could learn to process things better, learn how to deal with things. When I'm hurt, or when I'm going through some traumatic stuff, I need to learn to sit down and actually process that stuff instead of just skimming over it and pretending that, I'm not going through something, because we're all human and we do. Okay. So at the end of the day, many of you probably done found yourself mourning and grieving lately and probably didn't know why. Because you need to grieve and feel those things so you can release those things. Yes, that's why some things got to die so that something else can be born in its place. Okay, so if we're holding on to something old that God is clearly shaking loose from your grasp, but you still want to hold on to it, that's the only reason why we're grieving, because we want to hold on to something that clearly has no life left in it, right? So right now, God got us all as a whole going through a shake loose, a breakdown. You feel me? Like right now, your life is being broken down. We're having tower moments. You know, so-called people in your life that was supposed to be solid and never was gonna break your heart have. Those people who said that they got your back don't. Those people who said they'll never stab you in their back did. You know, so this is a time right now that God is showing you the true colors of people. Mask off. I keep saying mask off. Okay? Fuck it. Mask off. At this point, can't nothing and nobody hide. Not even myself. If I wanted to go and hide and fake the phone, God ain't gonna do nothing but snatch that mask right on off. So it's just best to be real with ourselves in this point in time. If you are not happy, you're not happy. If you are, then you are. You're going through some things, you're going through some things. If you're not, then you're not. At the end of the day, it is time to be real with ourselves. And many of us have become accustomed to covering up, packing down, sweeping things under the rug, and pretending that we ain't going through nothing and moving on to the next situation before we have taken the proper steps to actually heal ourselves. And those demons only follow you to the next situations in life. Yes, they follow you. It don't matter how far away from them you try to run. It don't matter how much alcohol you try to drink from them, how much weed you try to smoke, how much sex you try to have, how much gambling you try to do. You still got those demons to face at the end of the day. And this is what God is doing, is taking a big mirror, putting that mirror in front of our faces for us to face that lady in the mirror, that man in the mirror that we've been running from all along. And a lot of us been knocking boots with the devil and wondering why we can't get nowhere, because you got blessing blockers in the way. Yes. Whether it be physical blessing blockers or spiritual, emotional, whatever. Only you know what's blocking your blessings. So that's why I named this knocking boots with the devil. Stop knocking boots with the devil, whether it be your family, your friends, your lovers, your job, your co-workers. I don't care who it is. If people are showing you their horns. See, y'all sitting back waiting on the devil come from up under the ground with fire blowing. No, you work with them. You sleeping with them. You call them family. Yes, those are the devils I'm talking about. The ones that you can't physically see, but you can feel the demonic forces around them. Pay attention to the energies that you get with people. Pay attention if people are draining your vital essence. Pay attention if these people around you are feeding you, nourishing you, boosting you up, inspiring you, all of that. If they ain't doing that, they taking from you. So it's time to get them blessing blockers, them space takers out the way. Because many people see that the light that God got on you. Many people see your calling. Many people see your gifts. Many people see your anointing. But at the same time, you might not see it because you so blocked with the devils around you. Oh, well, that's my sister. I love her. But she been stabbing you in your back all your life. Oh, that's my mama. But she been chopping your head off since she conceived you. That's my daddy. But he abandoned you since he decided to have you. It don't matter. Love is what make you family. And many of us are hanging on, knocking boots and rubbing elbows with people that don't have your best interests at heart. And you just don't know that blessing that you've been praying to the Most High God for is being blocked because you got that space taker right there. It's being blocked because you want to hang on to a person because you love them. But they are clearly showing you narcissistic tendencies. They're clearly showing you that they're never going to change. They're clearly showing you that the relationship is going to get worse. They're clearly showing you that they're not going to pay you more. They're clearly showing you that they're never going to appreciate you. But you still want to hang on, and you're wondering why your blessings ain't coming. You're wondering why your energy getting drained. You're wondering why you ain't got no creative flow. You're wondering why. Because you got blockers in the way. You might be doing the right things, taking the right steps, but take a good look at your circle, at your surrounding. Who do you have in your grass? Because as I got get ready to do this doggone video, this guy was walking by, supposed to be cutting grass, but ain't no grass really out there for him to cut. So, but anyway, we spiritually cutting grass right now. Okay, stop and see. Pay attention to the black snakes that's flowing in your grass. Many of them, you calling them sisters and brothers. Yeah, I can't speak from this if I didn't experience it. So at the end of the day, just because you love somebody, but they clearly showing you that they don't mean you no good, believe them. And then if you don't, then you can't be mad at nobody else but yourself for when you get bit. Pretty sure they've been biting and you just keep picking them up. Oh, they gonna not be a snake one day. No, a snake gonna always be a snake, baby. And we got to accept that. And the reason why I'm doing this video is because a lot of us have mama and daddy issues. And you say, well, okay, well, I healed at 7, or I got over that. Oh, I ain't studying that no more. Fuck them. But little did you know that everything that they had inside of themselves while they was creating you was projected to you through the womb, through the light source, all of that. So you come here with all of the issues and all of that they had inside of them, still have inside of them, but they just shared it with you. You inherited some of it. So you basically carry that in your adulthood if you don't heal it. If you don't face it head on, it's going to chase you wherever you go. It don't matter where you stay. It don't matter where you work. It don't matter who you hang around with. It don't matter. Those demons are still going to chase you until you stop and face them and break those cycles. This is what us 80s babies was for, was to be here to break the cycles, because see, we was in the between. We got to see the end of the sense making in the beginning of the nonsense making, if that makes sense. We was in between, okay? So at the end of the day, we're here to break the cycles of what is no longer prosperous, what is no longer serving us, right? I'm not finna keep carrying toxicity on in my day-to-day. So I learned that in my relationships, I would accept crumbs. I would accept less than I deserve. And I had to keep asking myself, well, 7, where did you learn to accept less than you deserve? Where did you learn to settle for less than you deserve? Where did you learn to think so small? Where did it root from, 7? I had to go back to the foundation. That started from mama and daddy. Y'all heard it. I'm not here to bash nobody, but I'm here to speak my truth and a truth for somebody else, because many of us are afraid to speak this truth. But that means somebody got to speak it. But it starts from mama and daddy first. Okay? It don't matter who raised you. It starts with mama and daddy, because they the ones who created you. They are your creators, whether they want to believe it or not. This is why they say be mindful of what we have inside of us women when we are carrying a child, because that child soaks up all of that stuff. So then you wonder why your child get older and they got all that suicidal thoughts and all of that type of stuff, because you had it inside of you. So I had to ask myself, where did I learn to accept less than I deserve? It started from where I was created. So I carried that through my life, where I accepted crumbs from everybody, friends, lovers, places, jobs. Everybody just crumb me. I'm giving my whole platter and I'm getting crumbs from everywhere. It didn't matter where I went. Matter how many jobs I quit. Oh, well, this person over here, they want to pay me. They don't want to give me no raise. So I'm going to go over here because I know I can get a raise in 3 months. And then get over here and they don't want to give a raise. I'm looking, they give me a raise. It's 10 cents, 2 cents. Like, bruh, I need a quarter. I need $1. Where the big dollars at? I had to stop and check myself and say, you know what, girl? You deserve more than what these folk giving you. But at some point I had to stop and realize that, I needed to stop holding my hand out for the crumbs. The crumbs was because I felt like I had this lack mentality. I felt like I never was going to have enough. So I would accept whatever people would offer me. And that don't mean material possessions. That means little time, little attention, little affection, little love, just little crumbs people would give me throughout my life. And all that stemmed from my creators, because I was crumbed by my creators. That's where when I decided to go tap into myself, tap into my journal, write down and start questioning myself like people told me not to do. But once I started questioning myself, I started to get to know myself. Know thyself, right? Okay, so it's something about that writing. And writing is very magical. So I started writing. And once I started writing, I started finding answers. And I realized that I had been being crumbed my whole damn life. Every relationship I got, every guy I had crumbed me. They might start out giving you a slab of ribs, but at the end, you lucky if you get a bone. Why, Seven, do you keep attracting these things? Well, because somewhere in your root, you have decided that it was okay to accept less than you deserve. So I had to go within myself and do that cord cutting to cut that root so that I can no longer attract crumbs to myself. So once I learned to do that and then stop attracting and accepting crumbs from my creators and family, my relatives, because really that's what it is. So at the end of the day, once I learned to stop accepting less than I deserve from them, then now I can stop accepting less than I deserve from lovers. Because your mate is really a reflection or a, what is it? What's the word? It's a copy and paste of what you were raised up in. So that's just like a child growing up with no father. They say a girl grow up and she look for her dad and her men. But how can you look for your dad when you didn't have him in your life? So then you create that image of a father in your mind, what you think a father figure should be, because that's all you had was an imagination. So once you create that image in your head, you now begin to attract that thing to yourself with your mind. See, this is why they say a mind is a terrible thing to waste. So now that you created this father figure in your life, you only attract that in a lover form. So, and it goes vice versa with a mother as well. Just apply it which way it go for you. So I created this image of what I felt like a masculine should be. So I began to attract that in a physical form in all of the lovers that I had in my past. And I always ask people, are you proud of what you're creating? And now that I sit back and I look at what I created, I'm not proud of what I created. Well, now I am, because now I can look back on those things and be proud that I made it out. And those things helped me become who I am now. But at the same time, I was creating a toxic trait in my life, because I only attracted guys that abandoned me. I only attracted guys that crumbed me. I only attracted guys that lacked affection or commitment or any of that, because that's what I got and that's what I accepted from my root. So that's what I blossomed on my tree. See, we all are like trees with limbs, and we blossom. I don't know if y'all remember that movie. It was a movie, I think, with Jim Carrey in it. It was something about telling the truth. And every time he told a lie, he lost a leaf. And so, was it a lie or something? Or every time he spoke, it was something like that. I can't remember the movie, but at the end of the day, you are like a tree, literally. And the more you keep settling for less than you deserve, knocking boots with the damn devil and running from him, because many of you have been trying to get away from the devil, but you feel like you can't. Well, why, Seven? Why I can't get it from? Because you're running from him. See, it's like a dog. When you run, they sense fear. And then when they sense that fear, they feed off of you. So they chase you. Liar, liar. Thank you, baby. That's it. Liar, liar. Thank you. So, okay, that was one of the movies. But it was another movie with Morgan Freeman, I think. Morgan Freeman played God in the movie. And he cursed him to that tree. It was something, I can't remember it. But I know, yeah, liar, liar was one of them too. But at the same time, we are no different than those trees. So at the end of the day, stop selling yourself short because of what you endured as a child. You feel what I'm saying? If you're tired of being abandoned by people in your life right now, it's because you have not. Bruce Almighty, that's it. If you are tired of being abandoned by the people in your life, maybe somewhere in your life in the beginning, you were abandoned. You probably weren't real with yourself that you were abandoned. or people didn't want you to know or face the fact that you were abandoned. But now it's time for you to admit that, accept that, grieve that, feel that, go through that, and heal that, right? So you can stop attracting that. Because the only reason why you're attracting that abandonment in your face as a form of a job, a friendship, a lover, or whatever, is because you have not dealt with it from what was in the past. And a lot of y'all say, well, Seven, how am I supposed to cut the cord? How am I supposed to move on if these people hurt me and they never, apologized? They never gave me clarity. They never righted their wrong. Baby, you don't need them. I'm a living witness that you do not need people to heal anymore. You don't. Cut the middleman out. It's time to cut that funky little energy out of you. How do I go about doing this? And first of all, get your journal, get your notebook, whatever you need to do. Write that person's name down and write down all the things that they done to you. God, you know what? This person broke my heart. This person, This person was hating on me. This person was a secret enemy. Whatever. Write it down. I would like you to cut these cords away from me. Write it 3 times. Cut the cords, God. But you also got to go and be physical with that thing too. And see, this is why yoni steaming is very, very, very magical and spiritual. But a lot of us have taken yoni steaming and we done made it a fad. Okay. But it's a book that an earth angel sent to me, gave me to read one time, which I didn't finish reading, which I needed to. But the parts that I did read was very, very, it was the key. And the name of the book was called What's in Your Womb. And many of you need to go look this book up. It's probably on Amazon somewhere. What's in Your Womb. And the book is an easy read, but at the same time, it taps deep inside of you to the point it makes you, it's like she cracks you open like Humpty Dumpty with this book. And it's like after each chapter, you kind of got to have to take a break, to get yourself together because of the realness, the truth that was just revealed to yourself after reading each chapter. And I mean, it's a potent and very powerful book. So I thank the earth angel who blessed me with that read because it was so dope. But I just never took the time to finish reading the book and I wish I had, but I will later. I'm pretty sure I will. But anyway, what's in your womb? She talked about when you are born, you are created. A female, you're created with whatever was in your mother's womb, whatever was in your father. That's combined in you. So when you're created, it's in your womb. All of that trauma, all of that, whether it was suicide, anxiety, depression, disease, whatever, sicknesses or whatever, good, bad, it don't matter. All of that is projected to you. Okay. So say, for example, your mother didn't know her worth. Your mother had low self-esteem, insecurity issues. Boom. You are now conceived with those things. Okay. So then you get older and you start to live out those traits in yourself unconsciously. Some consciously, some unconsciously. You might grow up and say, I'm nothing like my father. I'm nothing like my daddy. But in actuality, you're everything like them. Yes, you are. And it's time for us to be real. So that mom and daddy started off, okay? Now mix with whomever raises you. Whatever lifestyle you grow up in, whether it be a streets life, whether you was born with a silver spoon in your mouth, whether you was born in a healthy house, whether you were born in a toxic family, it don't matter. All of that is being soaked up into your womb, okay? So then you get older. Mind you, say if you dealt with bullies and all of that, your mom and them probably never stood up for themselves. You've embodied that trait, so you're not standing up for yourself. So that's inside of your womb. So then you turn around and you start having sex. Then you start soaking up the energies that they picked up as well, because a man is no different. He just don't have a womb. But at the same time, he's soaking up stuff too. So now you done slept with this person or you done slept with this female. Now y'all have mixed traumas, right? This is where trauma bonding comes into play. So a lot of us fall in love with people because, well, my mom and my daddy abandoned me, and I just need somebody that's never going to abandon me. And then what a coincidence. Well, my mom and daddy abandoned me too. So how about we just be together, fuck the world, forget everybody else? That's a trauma bond. So now you end up in a trauma bonded relationship. Now you think this person is the love of your life because they went through the same thing and you went through the same thing. So y'all must be meant to be together. But no, what y'all together for to put a mirror in each other's face so that we can learn the lessons and heal. But no, many of us go into deep trauma bonded situationships with these people. So now that's soaked up into your wound. Then you get hurt, leave that relationship, move to another relationship, and do it all over again. So now you got this person from the last relationship in your wound. Now this person and the next person, and so on and so on and so on. You collecting bodies. So many of us women are out here emotionally discombobulated because we have so many bodies floating, just floating. And you wonder why guys say, oh, y'all some emotional creatures. Yeah, we are. We probably wouldn't be if we had cleaned our wound after each trauma bond. But many of us don't have the knowledge that we can clean our wound. Yes, you clean your wound. And I hope and pray that as I'm doing this video, that there is a healer out there somewhere, a shaman somewhere that can create something for our kings to help him clean his vessel as well sexually. But that's what yoni steams were created for. Yoni oils and yoni eggs and all of this stuff. But many of us use this stuff to tighten the snatch and all of that. But it's really supposed to be for spiritual practices. This is why I don't do yoni parties and all of that, where I got to sit around 6,000 women and drink wine while I'm supposedly cleaning my wound. Because literally, your wound picks up not just from people, but through what we eat, drink, listen to, embody, everything. We're soaking up so much. So of course you're going to be a mentally, emotionally unstable creature because you have not stopped once to sweep around your own front door and to clean your vessel properly. This is why detoxes come into play. People we drink teas and all of this. We do yoni steams. We exercise, we dance, we meditate, we pray, we do spiritual baths. This is why we do all of these healing practices to release. It is 111, and 111 has been following me heavily for the last 2 to 3 days. Carla, me and you were talking about this. It's something about that 111, baby girl. But at the end of the day, it's 111 right now. This is why we do these spiritual practices to cleanse our vessels. This is why fasting is significant. Fasting not is just from food, but from people. Sometimes you just need to fast from people. You feel what I'm saying? Sometimes people are showing you that they filling you up with nothing but bullshit, and you really need to just fast from them. I literally just lost a so-called associate that, I thought was a real spiritual friend. But I knew in my spirit, I kept feeling the energy being taken from me. Nothing never really given to me, but being taken from me. And all it took for me not to answer one time for this entity, for my friend, because I was this person's friend, as I was a friend with many. But that one time I wasn't available or wasn't willing to be available, boom, I got X'd out. Oh, lose my number, da-da-da-da-da. Wait a minute. But what about all the million other times that I was there and available? Oh, okay. So those are the type of situations right there that we soak up in our womb that need to be purged. Because I know I'm not the only one right now who done been dumped. I got a friend right now. He said, look, I've been dumped 5 times this week. That's because God is purging our lives. God is doing a clean sweep. If you've been praying and asking God to reveal and remove, to revive, then guess what? That means you got to sacrifice some things. And sometimes them fake friends that you thought was there gonna sabotage themselves. Let them. Because what they just did was bought their golden ticket out of your life. Let them. But you still got to purge that energy. And so many people are pissed off at 7 because 7 has learned to purge people away from me. When people show me that I'm not welcome, when people show me that I'm not appreciated, when people show me that that all they need is just use me and abuse me and all of those things, when people clearly are showing me, I have learned to take the hints. See, back in the day, I didn't know how to take a hint because I was so naive that a person could literally bash me in the face and tell me to get up out of their face, and I still would be over there talking about, I love you, trying to hug them and hold on to them. And they started punching me. Get out of my face. Get out of my face. And I'm gonna, but they're gonna change. One day they're gonna stop hurting me. But no, Spirit said, you got to stop hurting you because you the one keep running your tail up and these people are swinging these axes at you. You the one keep running out there about to get your head chopped off. When you going to stop? So now that I've learned to stop getting my head cut off, I've stopped accepting the crumbs from my roots. I had to cut those cords from the root so that it can cut all the negative other cords that was attached to it. So now it's easy for me to cut a cord. See, once you go to the root, see, don't go and try to, you can't just go to the tree limb and just cut that limb off and think that it's going to save the disease in that tree. No, you can't. The disease probably still going to travel. You could just cut that limb off if you want to, but it's still going to be in that tree. You have to cut the whole damn tree down sometime. Sometimes you got to go cut the whole tree down because it's full of strange fruit. Thank you, Spirit. It's full of all of the darknesses, the demon, the abuse, the rapes, the molestation, the abandonment, the anxiety, the depression. Your tree has been filled with darkness. And you say, well, 7, how? It's time to start chopping. Get that axe and chop at the root. I don't give a damn cause it's family. You can love a person and love their ass over there. When I say chop, that don't mean you got to physically hurt nobody. I mean spiritually, emotionally. You need to go inside yourself and cut them trees down. Because many of them are filled with diseases and darkness and mold and all of that gunk. I can remember a tree in one of my family's yard. It's a maple tree. Love that tree. Gorgeous tree. But I can remember my daddy before he passed saying, that tree been in the family for a long time, but it's starting to rot from the inside out. And when my daddy said that, I felt the rot inside of me. And little did I know I was finna start experiencing and seeing the rot in the family. See, many of people would just say, oh, well, 7 is just a tree. That tree represented the family. Next time I came around, the tree was cut down. My heart was broken. I was like, it's gone. But it had to be cut down. So they tried saving it. They did. But it was a root issue. So at the end of the day, sometimes you got to go to the root and cut that tree down, even if it means it starts with your creators. You can honor them, but still cut that cord. And be good to them, because many of our creators aren't good to us, unfortunately. But at the same time, we don't have to be like them. We don't. We have the power to redirect that energy into something else. And so I'll be damned if I allow the darkness or the disease from the root of my tree to take me down any longer. So I had to go ahead and cut my tree so that I could grow a new one, create a new one from my standpoint, my legacy, because I have the power to do that. And it's my business. Now they can keep, rotted trees all they want, but not me. My choice is to live something different. So I don't care who gets mad about this message, but people gonna get pissed off. They get pissed off anyway. I'm gonna be damned if I do, damned if I don't. So why not just damn do it anyway? So at the end of the day, once you cut it at the root, You go to God. Hey, God, listen. I've been good to this thing. I've been good to this place. I've been good to this person. I've been good, and this thing is hurting me. The closer I get to it, the more it hurts me, God. I know you said honor it. I know you said this is family. I know you said this is my creator. I know, God. I know you said this is my lover, my twin flame, my soulmate. I know you said this is my best friend. I know you said this is my sister. I know you said this is my church. I know, God, but the more I go to it, the more thorns I run into. God, I know this is not of you. So I ask that you release me from it. Cut the cords. Help me cut the cords, God. Help me take the steps that I need to cut the cords so that I can grow and see and unblock my blessings. Clean your wound, ladies. Do those yawning things by yourselves. You don't need, because see, you got to think about it. You are sitting on this stool, cleaning your womb, because that's what it's for. And also healing you from, other diseases that we might be suffering from. But at the same time, meditate while you're sitting on that throne. You are visualizing, using your imagination, that all of this darkness that I've accumulated, I'll call you back, friend. All of this darkness that I've accumulated in my womb, God, I am right now visualizing all of this removing itself from me. Take this darkness from my soul. And you might even start to smell the demons. And I ain't talking about your vagina now, because now you shouldn't be smelling your vagina if you washed it before you started steaming it, because everybody knows when you put heat to it, it's going to start to smell. So don't go in there trying to steam no stinky snatch, okay? Wash the snatch first, then steam it. So once you start cleansing it, you're sitting there, you can smell whatever is coming out of you. And I ain't talking about physical. I mean, like, yeah, you're going to physically have a scent, but you'll know what I mean. Because we're very intuitive people. You can smell when all that. You start smelling scents, you'll be like, where the heck did that come from? I ain't never smelled that on me. Because that's that raunchy demon that you done picked up in your womb. From nasty guys, nasty women, just nasty. You will be surprised. It comes in so many different forms. So at the end of the day, you're visualizing yourself and you're meditating, you're praying, and you're releasing those things. You're burning sage as you're doing it. When you get up, open a window, open the door, and give that demon an exit, because you got to go. Because if you don't, you leave the doors closed and the windows closed, and guess what? You're keeping it in. You're housing it. And guess what the demons do? They bounce around until they find another vulnerable shelter. Something weak. 9 times out of 10, bounce onto your children. Oh, look. Throat trying to close up on me. Don't want me to say that. This is why it's important for us to go and heal it, because what you don't face, your kids going to inherit it, whether you want to or not. So that demon that you ain't facing ain't going to do nothing but go right to your kids. So you might have had a promiscuous spirit, but then you look up and now your child, 12, 13, out here promiscuous. Because you did not face that demon within yourself. Your daddy left you. So you go and have a son. And you leave him too. So he, guess what he do? Get up and create more. He create kids and do like you. It's a cycle until we get it done. Till we face it and stop it. So if anybody know anybody out there who are very spiritual and they make yoni steams and stuff like that, somebody might need to put a bug in their ear and be like, hey, what you got for the men? Because the men need something too to cleanse themselves spiritually, because they pick up stuff with their wands. Yes, they do. And they walking around, a lot of them, many of them are walking around emotionally discombobulated due to the sexual succubus they have coming and had encounters with. And our men are under heavy sexual, spiritual attacks right now. It's so many succubus latching on to men right now, it don't make no sense. And half of the men so weak, they don't know that these are succubuses. So they sleeping with them. Then they'll move from her and go sleep with another succubus and another succubus. When you sleep with one, you only attract more. They like fleas. So the men need something to help get rid of they spiritual fleas. Because they like, men operate like a dog. I'm not calling them a dog, but some of them are. But they operate like a dog. And if you go out there and you get in the bed and wallow with fleas, then what you going to do? You going to come your ass up with fleas. So many of your men have went out there and gotten in the bed, with fleas. Probably before you, during you, after you. It don't matter. But then they turn around and mix with you. So then they fleas latch on to your fleas and they create more fleas and everybody just fleed out. And ain't nobody took the time to flee that funky little energy. Because in the book, I wanted to say Bible, Lord. In that book, What's in Your Wound, she called funky little energy flee. She said it's time to flee that funky little energy from your aura. Because whoever you mate with, they latch on to you. Y'all swap spirits, y'all combine. See, back in the day in our minds, where you only become one when you are married to a person. No. You become one when you mate with those people. This is why they put the stipulations on not having sex before marriage. And they knew everybody wasn't going to just go and get married or couldn't. They made it hard for you to get married to a lot of people. And they also made it hard for you to divorce a lot of people so that you wouldn't just be marrying people to have sex. And many people are getting married just to have sex. And then that's the wrong thing to do, because then when you get in there, you done picked up something you didn't know you couldn't wash off. So that's why they made it, okay, no marriage before sex, and you can basically get condemned for that. Because it was a way, God's way really was trying to keep us from getting out here picking up too many spiritual fleas. Right? But sex became overrated over time. We throwed out the book. We didn't care nothing about no rules of being married and all of that. So we just started having sex recklessly. And now a lot of us are fleed up and fleed out. But ain't nobody cleaned it. Ain't nobody got rid of it. This is why God said, do the work. Stop being lazy and do the work. Even if it means just picking up a damn piece of paper and saying, God, cut the cords from all whatever. I call back all of my power. Whatever you need to do to get rid of that energy. But no, many of us want to keep knocking boots with the devil. We want to keep hanging on to them because they going to change one day. No, they not. They're not going to change because you attracted them through your trauma. They're only a physical manifestation of what you carried inside of yourself. Everybody around you is a physical manifestation of yourself. Look around you right now. Do you got a bunch of users around you? You got a bunch of people that ain't got no goals, they ain't got no drive, they ain't got no creative flow. You got a bunch of whores around you, a bunch of alcoholics, a bunch of drug addicts. You got a bunch of liars, a bunch of takers. Pay attention to your surrounding, because if these are all the people that you are surrounded, then what does that say about you? Because they are only figments of your imagination. That's just like that movie Ratatouille. If y'all have seen the movie Ratatouille, when Gusto, which was the owner of the restaurant, would talk to the rat, when he seen Gusto didn't even know he was dead. He didn't even know he had passed away. But at the same time, he was talking to the rat, and the rat was like, "Are you real?" And he's like, "I'm only a figment of your imagination." But mind you, Gusto was real to the rat. He could see him, he could talk to him and everything. But every time, it's like Gusto was his conscience. So the people in your life, the jobs, the lovers, even your children, your family, your relatives, whatever, your place of where you worship, all of that. If you feel like your place of worship is toxic, then what does that say about you? Everything that's in your life is a figment of you. A figment of your imagination. So at the end of the day, if you don't like what you're attracting, then go inside yourself. Cut that cord. Unplug from that socket. Reroute yourself. Reground yourself in another spot. Unplug. And then you'll begin to attract a new frequency. If you don't like what you have around you, well, these people are always breaking my heart. Maybe somewhere you're breaking your own. I ain't gonna say maybe. I know somewhere, somehow, you're breaking your own heart. Well, these people don't appreciate me, 7. You are not appreciating you. Well, 7, he won't take me out on a date. You go first. How about you take yourself out on a date? Well, 7, she doesn't listen to me. Maybe you should start listening to you. Well, nobody ever cares about my heartache. Well, maybe you should start caring about your own heartache. You go first. Once you do, you begin to shift the atmosphere around you. You begin to create a whole new world, like Aladdin around here. A whole new world. You start attracting a whole new caliber of people. See, the old me so used to attracting toxicity that I did so much work to change the toxicity. Now I've started attracting new people in my life that lack that toxicity. And I don't know how. I'm sitting back like, God, is this real? I literally had become accustomed to narcissistic traits to the point I damn near became one. I know for a fact I've probably been narcissistic to somebody in my day before. That's how I was attracting them. So now that I've went and faced that female in the mirror, my female and man, because we all have masculine and feminine traits inside of ourselves, I went and sat down and looked myself in the eyes and asked myself those deep, hard questions that I refused to answer any other day. I had to do that in order to open myself up to a new world. Stop running from who you are. Don't be ashamed of who you were. Be grateful for who you were, what you went through, because it's what shaped you. So clean your wounds. Clean your aura. Let's get those spiritual baths done. Let's do that journaling. Let's do those energy releasings every month. Once a month, at least, you need to be releasing negative energies. Even if you just, God, you know what? Even if it's negative thoughts within myself. Doing those spiritual baths at least a few times out the week. Because you just never know what dark energies is coming your way. And just know the more you begin to heal, the more you begin to speak up, speak out, and stand up for yourself and own yourself and call back all your power, new level do bring new devils. So be prepared. This is why I'm telling you to strengthen yourself, because the more you heal yourself, the more you start tapping into peace, love, and happiness and joy and the true milk and honey on this planet. You better damn believe you're going to have forces coming up against you. And I tell people, you ain't doing nothing if you ain't got folk coming for it. And I've done a lot of things in my day, but ain't nobody ever came for me harder, ever in my life until I started choosing, until I started cleansing me, until I started cutting them cords and started focusing on me and my family, which is me and my seed alone, because that's all I need. Because see, now I'm trying to create a new legacy, because the old one is full of diseases. It's rotten. And I can't grow like that. Ain't no life over there. I need to go where there's life at. So I have the power to go and create life, create my own legacy. I have the power to do that. So I ask God to help me release the fear and move forward with courage and trust that I have the power to direct my own destiny now and always. So now that I began to do that and started cutting the cords and doing my spiritual baths and doing my yoni steaming, and not just yoni steaming, because a lot of us women, well, now that we know, okay, well, I could do a yoni steam and cleanse this person out of my wound, then yeah, I could go and sleep with whoever and do that. Let me tell you something, baby. You can go clean that snatch, but if you're going to go keep getting in the bed with the same succubus, the same fleas, the same hogs and pigs that you are praying God to get you out of, you are wasting your time and the universe's. So at the end of the day, don't go and ask God to cleanse your wound for you to go back and filthy it up again like me, because I've done it numerous of times. Yeah, God helped me clean my wound, but also God let me go and dirty it up again too, because that was my choice. I chose it. But once I learned to stop choosing it, it can stop choosing me. So don't be foolish and go and ask God to, hey, God, if you get me out of this from this toxic person, I'll never go do it again. And then soon God do it, you go and do it again. Now, many of us are probably going to do it. You about going to do it because that's just how humans do. We hard-headed. We tell God, I ain't going to do it again. And God be knowing we lying. But it's all right because God is a forgiving God. God is a compassionate God. He still do it anyway because you opened your mouth. He said, you ask, you shall receive. That's how the universe works. So at the end of the day, it's been many a days that we've asked God to heal us from people and get us out of these toxic situations. And yet and still, when God get us out of there and we start picking ourselves up and looking good and doing good, here come them succubus, come right on back and like, oh, she looking good. Oh, he looking good. Oh, he look like he doing better without me. So let me go and latch back on. And many of us, we ain't thinking. So we think, yeah, that's what I wanted them to do anyway. You know, I wanted him or her to, you know, miss what he had. And now he done missed it and came back and it made you miss your boat. That made you miss your plane. That made you miss your blessings. All because you let that devil come back and flee you up again. If you're going to go and cleanse your aura, don't go back and get back in the devil with the damn fleas. Stop getting in the bed with vomit. Stop getting in the bed with pigs. Pigs will take a dump and throw up and eat it all up again. And many of us are dealing with pig-like spirits where people don't care, chew you up, spit you out, throw you up, and put you right back in their mouths again. That's what demons do. And if you keep getting down with it, you're going to only come up and become one. After a while, you gonna be it. You'll be leading the pack then. So this is why I'm having this video. I'm doing this video right now because many of us keep getting in the bed with fleas. Sitting back waiting on it. We hooked on it. Many of you are on the sex spells. People nowadays are real life doing sex magic. Many of you are gone off of mental magic, mental manipulation, off of people's words. But when you purge your soul, when you cut those cords, when you go sit by the water, go get in the water, baptize yourself, give yourself a spiritual bath, yoni steam yourself, whatever you need to do, sweat it out, yoga it out, dance it out, sing it out, cook it out, whatever spiritual practice you need to do, just find a way to lay it at the altar and give it back to God because this is the time. Don't beat yourself up because you feel like Susan and Bob was your friend and you felt like you lost somebody because you ain't going to lose nothing that was meant for you. It was crazy because my feelings almost got hurt by this person who just X'd me out for no damn reason at all. But then I was like, well, damn, I lost a friend. That person said that wasn't your friend. And I said, you're absolutely right. So once I got that in my mind that person was not my friend, this person had already been showing me all these traits that they weren't my friend all along, but I didn't want to accept the signs. So now that I finally grasped that this wasn't my friend, I cut the cords immediately. So that this person don't no longer have access to me. Cut the cords, that means social media, block it on the phone. I mean, all access denied. When I'm in your life, I'm in your life. And see, that's what you got to learn when you are a gift to a person. When you are the fucking prize. When you bring more to the table than they bring. You got to realize that. And a lot of times you can wagoosh people and splash them with so much goodness that they think they entitled to it. And they get comfortable in it. And they feel like they ain't got to never reciprocate it. But like I tell people, nothing good lasts forever. Majority of the time, the good things only last for a short while, so you better enjoy them while they're there. And I've been that good thing in a lot of people's lives that people didn't see, didn't listen to, didn't appreciate, nothing. Put me on the back burner, mistreated me, talked about me, all of that. But when God gave me the mind's eye to see the truth about these people, I stood up, I dusted myself off, and I cut the cords. And when I cut the cords, because see, we live in such a toxic time that people think nowadays that when you say you done, that you never really done, because a lot of us, we'll go back to, well, we'll say, well, I'm done, but then go back and get in the bed with it again. So the more you get back in the bed with the devil, the more the devil thinks, oh yeah, she's okay with what's going on. She's okay with how dark I'm treating her. You feel me? So when I learned to say, you know what, devil, I'm not getting back in the bed with you no more. I'm not going to keep letting these people shit on me. I'm just not. Once I learned to do that and start cutting these people from my spirit, now I got a trail of people mad at me because I chose me. But y'all, when I was in your face, loving on you, hugging on you, trying to teach you, groom you, bring you, whatever God put me in your life for, you didn't appreciate it. It don't matter, family, friends, whoever, because family, blood don't make you family. Love does. That's my belief. And many of our families lack love. So how does that make us family? So I cut off family members. If I can cut off family members, you got to know an associate or a regular person don't stand a chance. So once I learned and gained the strength to cut off those relatives from my spirit, then it started cutting off them fake friends around me. Them fake friends just was easy. Half of them cut themselves off. So like my auntie always said, you're doing good if you come out of life with one good friend, and you're doing damn good if you come out of life with two. I know so many people. I had so many friends as I was growing up, but now as I'm growing up, I can't even. Now as I'm grown, you barely even hear me say the word friend, and I'm grateful for that, because that was dead weight. That was water weight. A lot of people I was hanging on to, all because of how many years I've been knowing these folks. Cause we went to school together. We worked our first job together. Whatever. All that type of garbage. All that jazz. Once I learned to cut that stuff away from my spirit, because people feel like they can hurt you nowadays and come back into your life like ain't nothing else. They ain't got to talk about it. They ain't got to apologize about it. And many of us people who don't know our worth don't require it. We don't require an apology. We don't require boundaries. We don't have no boundaries set. We just let people come in and out. And me, I've been one of those where I've let people, I didn't have no boundaries. I didn't know my worth. I let so many people come in and out of my life whenever they please. Dog me and come back in and act like ain't nothing here. But now them people ain't access is denied and they pissed. Now they want to walk around and talk bad about Seven. Oh, Seven, she a bitch, she this, she that, she a witch, she a itch, she a da. But did you tell them what you did to Seven? Did you tell them how you treated Seven? Did you tell them how you stabbed Seven in the back? Did you tell them how you didn't appreciate Seven? Did you tell them how you didn't listen to Seven? Did you tell them how you tried to shrink Seven? Did you tell them how you was jealous of Seven? Did you tell them how bad you talked about Seven? No, you didn't. But see, that's how you know when people ain't mean you no good. Because people that meant you some good and you cut them off, guess what they gonna do? They just gonna go on about their little life and live, because eventually they know the wisdom in them, the wise part in them is gonna trigger them and let them know, hey, she'll realize it one day. He'll realize one day what I was. But I don't have to bam it in that hurt person head. When you good to a person, trust and believe. All you gotta do is get quiet and they'll begin to see, oh shoot, that person was good to me. But see, they can't see it if you always in their face. Always pumping them up with goodness all the time. People sometimes don't appreciate that, and some people ain't used to that, so that's why we end up attracting users in our life. And many people thought I was weak. Many people thought I was dumb. Many people thought I was naive. But no, I was created to be that nice, generous person. I was created to be a listener. I was created to be loving and warm and compassionate. I was created to be all of that. But many of the succubus energies I had around me, the gigolo Jezebel spirits that were around me, had me thinking otherwise. I had to be cold-hearted. I had to be hateful. I had to be mean. I had to be disrespectful and fake and all of that to be accepted. No, dog. That ain't what God, that is not at all what God created me for. But that's what them devils almost had me. Almost had me now. Almost had me. You got to know when you are in a graveyard and ain't nothing growing. Let me give you an example. I just went to one of my cousin's service, her homegoing service recently. And as I was in this church, I'm listening at the preacher. And all I hear is death, death, death. Die, die, die. Death, death, death. If you don't get your life together right now, you're going to be like Keisha. Her name ain't Keisha, by the way. The preacher kept getting my family member's name wrong. So to me, I felt like, just forget it. The service is ruined at this point. He kept calling her the wrong name, and all he kept was focusing on is condemning people and scaring people into giving their life to God. Well, you know, this is your time now to come to the altar and give your life to God, and if you don't, it's gonna be too late because you just never know. Tomorrow ain't promised for nobody, and you know, so literally he badgered the damn building so bad to the point about 6 folks finally just got up and was like, okay, let me just walk up here, going to save my life. And they get up there and he's like steady throwing shade at the people who did it. And my thing is everybody in the congregation, just because you have never seen us don't mean we don't know God. Just because we don't come to your building doesn't mean we don't know God. And you just never know when you're in the presence of an earth angel. And I know when a lot of people see me because they see me wearing my headdress, they see me wearing my crowns, they see me wearing all of my crystals and all of this. So people judge me off of what they see. So they just assume I don't know God. So I've walked in plenty of churches and the preacher could be talking about the flowers outside. And as soon as I walk in, well, you need to get your life right before it's too late because you're going to hell. And I'll just be sitting there looking at them like this. You're right. You're absolutely right. This is hell. Stop being suckered into hell. Stop being manipulated, extorted into the damn graveyard. Stop voluntarily giving yourself over to it. I'm watching my people go up here all because they feel guilty and obligated, not because they want to go freely. I used to be like that as a child in church. I used to feel obligated to go to the altar. It was never a time I just wanted to go to the altar myself. It was times as a child, go on up there, let the Lord lay hands on you, let the preacher heal you, but never did I just want to go. I went because I felt that's what I had to do. And many of us are still carrying that dis-ease now till to this day. So I'm looking at these people getting up, going to this altar, to this man who clearly don't know God, because if he did, he would be able to identify it in his face. And I don't give a damn. Like I said, I'm calling it what it is, mask off. It's too many false prophets out here standing up in our faces, hooping and hollering and spitting over you, telling you that you got to die to live. And that's all I heard was, in order to see the kingdom of heaven, you got to die first. You ain't gonna see it until you die, but go ahead. Come on up here. Give your life to death so you can see heaven. Make it make sense, please. Somebody make this shit make sense to me. Not once did I hear this man say, your mental, you have to spiritually die to be reborn again in Christ. No, I don't hear no churches out here saying that. All I hear them saying is you got to die. And when you die and go 6 feet under, because see, they physically meaning die. See, a lot of us are living to die. And that ain't what God put us here to do, is to live to damn die. Get out of hell. Stop allowing these people, just because they got on long draped robes with chains and a cross around their damn neck, say that you got to die. Stop letting these folk lie to you. Because he probably was in there in the whorehouse the night before. And you just didn't even know it. He probably was in the bootlegger the night before and you just didn't even know it. He probably was telling lies to his wife just the day a few minutes before, and you ain't even know it. He probably just smoked a crack pipe before you went in there, and you ain't even know it. Pay attention to folks when folks are speaking life to you or when they speaking death to you. If people are always talking about dying, and I ain't talking about a spiritual death, I'm talking about a physical death. In order to see God, your Savior, your Lord and Savior, get your ass out of there. First train smoking. Run. And I could feel him pulling. Because see, we have a pulling spirit. We have a spirit. We all have a spirit. We can pull people to do things that we want them to do if we use our mind strong enough. And I could feel this man in the pulpit literally pulling on the people. I could feel him pulling at me. And I was just sitting there, part of me, now my higher self was just sitting there like, oh, hell no. But then my lower self was feeling like he pulled so much, my spirit was like, I almost wanted to get up there and go too. And then I realized, oh, hell no. You already done died, 7. You been died. You been crucified. And you been risen again too. But you're not going to let this devil take you back to hell with him. You got to have a strong enough mind to see when people are when devils are following you everywhere. And I've had that devil. Like I told y'all, that is one of my demons. That is one of my demons. It's a church demon. Because of so much church trauma I endured through my life, that every church I went to, it seemed like after that I started attracting false propheted churches. Because all I knew, and that's all I came up and grew up under, was false prophets. So every church it seemed like I went to after that, it seemed like that's what I ran into. So now since we in the business of facing our demons, I sat there and I looked at this preacher. And I just heard him out. Because, see, people think I'm a demon. They think I'm a devil. They think I can't go to church, baby. I can go to church. I can go to any church you invite me to. And I'll be up in that sucker hollering, amen, harder than the saints, if you speaking the truth. And this man, every time he opened his mouth, it was number death coming up out of it. And I closed my spirit up because my spirit said, don't you receive this garbage? And I'm just sitting there just listening at him. And he pulled a couple of members to the altar. And he threw shade at the other people at the church that didn't get up. Well, bless the ones that did come to the altar and save themselves. You have now been saved. See, these false prophets want you to feel like because you did what they said, you followed their chain of demand, not command. Their chain of demand, because you followed their chain of demand, you are now saved and healed with the Holy Ghost. Lie. Many of them people who are telling you that haven't even experienced the Holy Ghost. Don't even know the Holy Spirit if it slapped their ass in the face. But then, because I say ass, or I cuss, or I might go and drink me some wine, or go out and have me a good time, oh, I'm a devil. But y'all can go and do the same thing under the scene and hide your lifestyle, but get back in the pulpit and preach to somebody the next day and acting like you holier than thou. But a person who will live their life out in the open, like my free spirited self, you want to condemn me and say I'm a devil. No. What it is I'm a devil to you. I'm a threat to you because me bringing my truth out in the open reflects what you hide. See, a real prophet ain't going to hide their lifestyle from you. They're not going to hide what they do. Yeah, I'm going to drink me some wine. If I want to smoke, if I want to dance, if I want to cuss, if I want to holler, whatever, if I want to wear me a little two-piece outfit, whatever I want to do, I'm going to do it. And I'm going to do it for people to see it because that's who I am. God said, come as you are. But who am I to come up in front of you and pretend to be holier than thou and be this nun and cloak myself in all of these masks and then go behind closed doors and do all the things that I really want to do, like ain't nobody gonna see me. And then you wonder how most of us get busted. You wonder why most of you get exposed. See, people can't expose you if you've already exposed yourself. And many of you prophets are being exposed because of the foolery you have been doing to God's people under the scene. Many of you are being misled because my mama and them, they've been in this church all my life. My grandmama and them came from this church. It don't matter. Look at your mama and grandmama right now. What does that say? Did it help your mama and grandmama and them? Did it help your dad and them? Did it help them grow? Oh, okay. Where are they? Are they mentally healthy right now? Or are they mentally unstable? Pay attention. And if you see that they ain't grew, then you might need to chop that tree and grow your new plant. It's time to make a new move. Take a different play. Don't keep taking that same play that your family already done did and got the same results. Ain't nobody got nothing different. Be a spiritual rebel. Don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone and trust in the unknown and let God lead you to where he truly wants you to be. Because I guarantee you, God did not put you here to follow into your foremothers and forefathers' footsteps. No. He put you here to create your own. Because you just never know. Them foremothers and forefathers just might have to turn back around and take your steps. They probably was afraid to take them steps. But you went and made that way. So now they might have to come back behind you. And many of them might not be happy that they have to. But that ain't got nothing to do with you. You hear the rhyme? Y'all hear me rhyming? At the end of the day, you make that play. And the rest will follow. Take off running, Forrest Gump. Don't look back and see who coming. Just run. You ain't got to have a destination. Just run till your soul gets satisfied. And I mean run to the arms of the one that truly loves you. And I mean the Most High God, yourself. Run into the arms of you. You will never go wrong choosing you. I got chills all over me. I got so many people right now pissed off at me for choosing me. And they have been spiritually sending me attacks, trying to attack my mental. They have been trying to attack my voice. They have been trying to attack my womb. Oh, they have been trying to attack my home, even my child. Baby, demons are mad at 7 right damn now. But guess what? Scratch your ass and get glad, because at the end of the day, I choose me. I'm running into the arms of the one that truly loves me. And that's me. And that's the Most High God. And the rest will follow. Whoever, once I've run into the arms of who truly loves me, then everybody else gonna start to truly love me. But they not gonna start until I do it first. So be it, because I got a slew of people pissed off at me. I don't care anymore. So be it. So be it. They'll be all right, because they were mad at me when I was in their face. They mad at me now because I ain't in their face. Either way, they just mad. Aren't we all just a little mad? Oh, okay. So I choose happy from this day forward. And I inspire y'all to. It's 155. 5s is change. 5s is new beginnings. Sometimes 5s got to bring conflict and corruption, but it's to shake up some things so God can bring in new, to break down the old foundation that wasn't serving you. And we are in the business right now. We are moving out that grieving. We're moving out that mourning energy, and we are bringing in happiness and peace, love, and joy, and prosperity, and all things that are holy, righteous, good, true, and correct. Because God is not going to take something from you if he ain't going to replace it with something better. But you got to choose it. And so I encourage you all to cord cut, to do those spiritual baths, to do those energy releasings, to do all of that you need to do to get yourself on the straight and narrow path. Ask God to order your steps and to remove all those snakes out of your grass. And ask him to help you keep that spiritual grass cut. Ask him to help you to turn away from your wicked ways, to remove you from your wicked ways, and to turn you from them and never turn back into them again. To forgive you for all of that. You give yourself the clarity. You give yourself that apology that you will never get from that person. I don't care who it is. Go and write it down. Right? Dear Sunshine, we're just gonna use that name, Dear Crystal Ball. You hurt me. You broke my heart. You raped me. You molested me. You da-da-da-da-da. You did not stand up for me. You did not have my back. And this hurt me. This broke my heart. This hurt. This made me hate you. This whatever. Write down all of that go with it. But you know what? I forgive you. I accept the apology you will never give me. And I am releasing you from my spirit, because he who angers you control you. And I know that as long as I stay mad at you, you will forever be able to control me. But because I don't want you to be able to have that remote control to me, I'm going to cut the cord from you so that you will no longer have access to me. So you got to budget your energy, baby. You got to learn to look at your energy like Alabama Power Company. You got to learn to look at your energy like, I call it Allegasco, but Spire. You got to learn to look at your energy like the internet, Xfinity. You got to get bougie with your energy. You got to learn to budget your energy. People got to pay to play. So if you ain't coming in with nothing to keep that energy going, you can expect your power source to be cut. If you coming in, taking, because that baby, you can sit on them lights all month long. But if you ain't got that money to pay that bill, you're going to be cut. And that's how I'm treating people in my life. If every time I turn around, you trying to juice me, and you ain't giving nothing back, and I ain't talking about physical possessions, but I'll take them too. But I'm talking about spiritually, mentally, emotionally. If you juicing me and you're never feeding me back, I'm cutting your ass. It's an even balance. Respect. So if you find that you've been cut from 7 power, check yourself. Because it take me a lot to cut people. But when I do, I have very good reason. So I've gotten bougie with my energy. And I suggest you do the same. Stop letting these folk call and dump in your spirit all the time. All they sadness and garbage and all of that. Folks, all of that. I got folks write me, saying stuff about suicide and all that. Listen, you don't know. I could be on the verge of jumping off the cliff myself. We have to be mindful of the weight that we dropping on people, because not everybody can handle certain weight. And if I call or I say, hey, I'm finna commit suicide, that's going to put weight on somebody. That's burdening them. So be mindful of those people who are burdening you with their darkness, especially when you have given them the tools to clean their own shit up. Me being a spiritualist, I speak a lot. I post a lot. I give a lot of healing. But what I'm not finna do is sit back and let people burden me with things that I spend my days trying to help you unburden yourself with. I have many people try to latch on because they see that I have the power to cut cords and move on and manifest happiness. But you got the same powers too. But I have to budget my energy and stop it at the door. Hey. I can't take no more. We got to learn when to cut it off. Cut off the gossiping. Cut off the burdening conversations, the trash dumping conversations. Ask yourself, when you get off the phone with people, do you feel lifted or do you feel drained? Because if you feel drained, then you about talking to an energy vampire. When you get off the phone with a person, you should feel lifted and happy and peaceful. And all you should be saying is, Lord, thank you for that person. But if you can't say that when you get off the phone with a person, then baby, they a vampire in your life. And you got to learn to cut it off. Because these demons are like bullies. They will chase you down. They will blow you up. They will push themselves off on you so hard to the point you think that it's meant. Well, God, they keep coming back. So I guess they meant to be. We meant to be. Well, God, every time I talk to her or him, he always going through something. And I guess it's my duty to save them. So I'm going to give them some advice. But when I'm done, I'm always drained, Lord. So I need you to replenish my energy. God says, stop. Demons come in so many forms. They can come in the form of your children. They can come in the form of animals, dogs, people, places, and things. If you don't face it, it's going to face you. And in this last month, I know for a fact that I have been facing my demons. Do you hear me? My demons got so bold that they started coming for me directly. Oh, come here. Oh, come here. Come here. And every time I said, you know what, God, I'm going to walk away. I'm going to ignore it. I'm going to be quiet. I'm going to avoid it. I'm going to act like it ain't there. The more it got demanding, the more it grabbed and started pulling. But Spirit said, I need you to stop. I went to the water and I sat by the water and I allowed myself to purge and grieve. I allowed myself to get that energy out of me. And as soon as I emptied my vessel, I heard, call it. Call that demon head on. I need you to face that nigga. I need you to call him. Oh, baby, the biggest demon in my life, I had to call it. And when I called it and said, hey, you got something you need to say to me? I'm talking about physical, on the phone, dead ass. I ain't making this up. I'm literally on the phone like, hey, I got my bonnet on, I'm talking noise. You sent for me, here I am. Because see, a lot of folks think because you turn the other cheek, you sweet, you forgiving, that you weak. But that's y'all mistake. No, that's because that's what God asked me to do. Because I knew I was being tested many a times. But sometimes God will send you back to face it. And you got to handle it and slay it the way you got to slay it. That's just like Alice in Wonderland when she had to slay that demon, that dragon. She was the only one that could slay it. And that's how you are. You're the only ones who can slay those demons inside of yourself. So, because that entity was a figment of my imagination, but in physical form, I had to call it and face it. Stop blocking it. Spirit said, stop blocking it on the phone. Stop avoiding it. Stop ignoring it. I need you to face it. So I called it. Hey, you got something you want to say to me? You want to talk to me? Here I am. What's up? What you talking about? No, you was calling me like you had the audacity. So here I am, devil. What's up? I'm good. You don't want to talk to me. You ain't been one. Oh, no, here I am. You want to go through other people. You want to send for me when I ain't sending for you. But now that I done came for you, because you kept throwing that bait out there, now I done bit down harder than you expected. So now that I'm clamming down on you, you shaking like a leaf on a tree. See, a lot of times you running for nothing. Half of the times the devil that you running from ain't nothing but a big pussy anyway. Half of the time the dog energy you running from is weak as water. Half of the fears that you've been running from ain't even that damn scary. But you won't find it out until you turn around and you face that shit. So I turned around and I faced what I considered to be one of the biggest devils in my life recently. Still facing it. Because see, this devil right here is going to take more than one chop to cut this head off. But it's getting cut. You better know that much. But at the same time, I faced it. And when I faced it head on, that devil got scared. That devil went to stuttering. That devil couldn't even handle it. I said what I said. I told the devil, it's over with. Calling it quits. Right here, right now, in the words of my daddy. Right here, right now, I'm calling this quits. I'm done playing with you. I'm done knocking boots with you. I'm done faking it. I'm done pretending it. I'm done ignoring it. I'm done running from it. I'm just done. Okay. But the devil never goes away. He just go and get a little more clever. He never goes away. So, of course, the devil is somewhere right now, sitting back, brewing up a good old witch's pot of bullshit. to try to come back for my vital essence again, because it keep getting ran down. Every time I face it, I step on that joker's neck. And that was one of my goals I put on my vision board this year, was to run the devil down. And that's exactly what I've been doing. And I'm still running the devil down. And here we is, almost done with this year. I ain't gonna stop till he is pure dust. Do you hear me? Like my baby said, Mom, I know your foot little, but I need you to take it and stomp that sucker. Plant it down on the floor. And that's exactly what I'm doing. And I suggest that y'all do the same. Stop knocking boots with the devil. Whether it be physical knocking boots or spiritual, emotionally, only you know where you knocking boots with the devil. Stop knocking boots with him, and he'll stop knocking them with you. Oh, wait, no, he won't. He's just going to keep getting clever, trying to find ways to knock him with you. But you got to get stronger to keep him out. Okay? So, I think that's the message right there. I appreciate my viewers, the little few that I got, y'all. Y'all share this message if y'all know anybody that need it. And like I said, get out the bed with the devil. Pay attention that when you begin to heal yourself, I'm going to say this before I get off. When you begin to heal yourself, like I said, new level bring new devils. The devil is going to come for you. Dark entities are going to try to latch on to you. Keep going. Don't stop. How do you get the fleas off? Cleansing your spirit. Eating good, drinking more water, getting by more water, baptizing yourself, doing spiritual baths, doing your yoni steaming, all your spiritual practice, whatever you consider to be a spiritual practice. All of those are formed of protective mechanisms. Look at it as you're putting on your spiritual armor, but you got to keep it on. Don't do it one time. No, I need you to make it a ritual and become protective of your aura. And just know that, pay attention that if you have been you say, for example, you are a trainer. You're always very athletic, very energetic. I mean, you always got so much energy. You all over the place. You know, you tie-bowing. You feel me? But then soon as you sleep with a certain person, and you start noticing that your energy starts getting drained. You start noticing that you don't really have that drive that much. You don't want to go and work out anymore. You're not running your class like you used to. And then you say, okay, well, you know what? I'm losing myself. I need to get back to myself. So boom, you go and do a cord cutting, right? You're trying to get this person out of your energy. So once you start doing the cord cutting, you might start feeling even more drained a little bit. You might start finding yourself being a little more tired than usual. You probably lacking sleep. You probably don't have an appetite. You probably finding yourself not wanting to clean much, don't want to take a bath. And if you do find yourself in those lower vibrations, that means you got to push through and keep covering yourself, because 9 times out of 10, you're breaking through. 9 times out of 10, you're breaking out. You busting out. Or 9 times out of 10, somebody's trying to keep you bounded and bond to them. Keep you in a bind, in a chain to them. So keep running, Forrest Gump. Keep doing your healing work. Keep doing your spiritual work. Keep doing it. Even if you tired, make yourself, push yourself through. And I promise you, you will see the fruits of your labor, because spiritual attacks are real, especially on a spiritual folk who are bringing enlightenment to people. So I'm pretty sure people they're already coming for me. I've been dealing with people coming for me lately. I can feel them. But that don't stop me, because I'm a worker for the Most High God, and I'm going to keep covering my aura. I'm going to keep doing what I need to do to see my destination. You know, I'm going to keep on running on. I don't have time to let y'all clowns and crows and energy vampires stop me and slow me down any longer. I call back all of my power from all four corners of this earth. And I am now on an energy budget. So I only have a certain amount of energy for for a certain amount of people. The same people, those people that have that energy budget for me are the people that's going to get my energy. My energy is not for everybody. And I don't want everybody's energy. But I need a match. I need matches around me. I don't need people that repel from me or against me or none of that. That's not what I'm here for. So pay attention. Are the people in your circle repelling or are they magnetized? So, a lot of times we magnetize people to us from lower realms. But once we heal, we can magnetize people to us from higher realms. And that's where heaven is. You do not have to die. I'm going to say this again, and I'm going to keep saying it until my people get it. You do not have to physically die in order to be reborn again. You have to let that old self, that old mindset, that old heart, that old spirit, that old everything die. All of that you learn, you need to unlearn it so that you can be reborn again in the truth. Because a lot of the stuff that we were raised up in was not true. It was all an illusion. Which is why many of us are hurt now and bruised now, because we were lied and manipulated and tricked. So heal yourself now by feeding yourself the truth, feeding yourself life, feeding yourself love, happiness, joy, all things holy, righteous, good, true, and correct. Music needs to be love filled. If you listen to music all day long that ain't talking about, that ain't got no love in it, you need to turn it off. It's cool to listen to a little trap sometime, but you don't need to trap all the time. Turn you some love on. Feel your spirit. Dance to it. Eat you some food that makes you feel loved. If you ain't dancing when you done put that first spoon in your mouth, it ain't got no love in it. If you ain't smiled when you took the first bite, ain't no love in it. If it don't make you feel warm and fuzzy in the inside, it ain't got love in it. Get where there's love. Go where you feel most alive. If you find yourself feeling lifeless, it's because you probably spiritually, energetically reside in a damn graveyard and don't even know it. Because a lot of times you could be hanging around people that ain't nothing but a walking graveyard. And the more you hang around them, the more your spirit depletes and die with them. I want people around me who choosing to live, who chooses life. I know life is not easy. But like my auntie say, life ain't hard either. We make it hard. But I want somebody, some people, friends around me, family around me, who sees life as a canvas, and that we have the power to create whatever we want on it. I don't need people who want to live life like a blank ass canvas. I need some colorful people in my life. So get out of the black and white and get into the color. And live in color. Hey, I need to go watch that. But let me get up off of here. I love y'all, man. Straight up, man. Y'all share it live. Anybody got anything to say? Anybody got anything y'all want to say before I get up off of here? Because y'all already know. You just never know when I might get off again and a devil want to come for me because I just exposed a lot of shit. And then they try to attack me. They be sitting back waiting and hoping and waiting and hoping and wishing. Oh, has she failed yet? Has she shut up yet? Has her throat closed up yet? Has she stopped praying yet? Has she stopped meditating yet? Nope. 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 And I ain't gonna stop. Wait on it. Wait on it. Wait on it. That's what y'all need to tell the devil. Tell the devil to wait on it. Wait on it. But it's my time to shine. Like bright like a diamond. Okay. Y'all go shine bright like a diamond. But first, get them blessing blockers out your way. Okay. Go on and get your healing process out the way. Go feel and go heal. Let them people go. What was meant for you will never leave you. I promise you that. So if that person walked away from you, that's because they was never there with you in the first place. And be grateful that they did, because now they have opened up space for the new. Forgive them for the apologies that you are never going to get. And forgive yourself for waiting so long on a damn dumbass apology. That even if they do come and give you, it's probably going to be half-assed anyway. It's probably going to be quiet. But the disrespect be so loud. That be the audacity for me. But it's all right. You, the best revolution, before I get out of here, I said this again. The best revolution is loving yourself. A lot of say the best revenge, like her song said, the best revenge is your paper. No, the best revenge is you. The best revenge is you choosing you and loving on yourself. And the best way to win with a toxic person is to not play. Cut it off. Cut off the power. When you realize a person is toxic, cut it off. Don't keep going back playing with them because you telling their mind that, oh, well, shoot, she cool with toxicity. She likes this. This is why she keeps coming back. So stop going back to the vomit so they can stop vomiting for you. Okay? The best way to win with a toxic person is to not play. Don't try to teach them no lessons. Don't try to make him or her feel what they lost. Don't try to make them regret this and this and that. Don't try to do none of that. Go live your life. Go tap into yourself. Call back your power. Heal yourself. Live again. Laugh again. Enjoy life again. That's your revenge. And baby, watch them. Just watch them. The happier you get, the sadder they gonna get. But not that we're living our life to make people sad. We're living our life to make us happy. But somebody's got to win and somebody's got to lose. It's a balance. You've lost long enough. Now it's time for you to win. And those people that thought they were winning is now about to start losing. It's our time. Don't get mad at us. Take it up with the Most High God. You had your time and you didn't do right by it. But I know what I'm finna do with mine. See, God gave many of us people that was in the back of the bus time to see what the people in the front of the bus was doing wrong. So that when our time came to get up in the front, we had been taking notes so we know what not to do. Ain't no excuse. I love y'all. I'm going to leave y'all at that note. I'm dropping the mic. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Y'all go subscribe to my channel on YouTube. I love y'all. Peace and love.